Hello everybody, Landi here, and today I have a book review for you all. I know it's a first for this channel, probably not the last, we'll see how well this goes, but yeah, I'm bringing forth a book review. I did a recap of all the books I read in the first half of the year. Go check that out if you haven't. But today I'm bringing you my first book review of the second half of the year. Now, before I mention the book itself, I first got to reiterate my love and very much nostalgia for Warriors. I read Warriors from 4th grade all the way through the end of middle school, so I read a lot of Warriors growing up, and I love this series, and I still do to an extent. I think I tried to hop into one earlier this year, and it just didn't quite work for me. But I still do have a lot of love and respect for the series. One day I was watching a video from Captured by Words, great booktube channel I recommend. He was doing a video on authors and was mentioning Tad Williams, and he brought up his very first book, Tailchaser's Song. Now, this book, and I noticed this, and you might notice this as well, it definitely looks a lot like a Warriors book. And there could very well be a reason for that. It's pretty likely that this was the inspiration, or at least one of the inspirations for Warriors. This book looks like a Warriors ripoff, but it released in 1985, almost 20 years prior to that series. And so I was very intrigued, so I got the book and hopped into it not much later. So today I will be sharing my thoughts on this book, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I'll start off with a little synopsis of the book. A ginger tomcat named Fritty Tailchaser leaves his sheltered home near the dwellings of man to embark on a quest to find his lost friend. However, he soon discovers that there is insidious work at hand, and that his quest may be harder than he first thought. He will have to traverse the vast and dangerous lands outside of his home, dealing with other cats, wooden creatures, and even monsters along the way. Does Fritty have what it takes? So right off the bat, I want to kind of discuss the similarities and differences between this and Warriors, because I feel like being that Warriors is something I'm very familiar with and was very familiar with going into this book, that I just kind of want to make this comparison. And so first I'll start with the similarities between this and Warriors. The naming conventions are very similar. I mean, Tailchaser legit just sounds like a Warriors character, and pretty much all the other characters do too. Very, very similar to what you see in Warriors. Also, the cats live in clans, kind of similar to Warriors as well. It's not as structured as Warriors, but still, they do live. It's even described as them living in clans. And lastly, cats participate in just a lot of cat-like behaviors. Like, even though they're anthropomorphized in that they have a social structure similar to like humans, they are still cats very much so, and do cat things, and that's something that both this and Warriors has. So they're cats. But some differences though, because these are not, it's not like Warriors was just directly taking everything from this book. There are some differences. First off, it's only a standalone. I mean, this is Tailchaser's Song. It's just this one book. It's not even that long. It's a little over 300 pages. This compared to Warriors, which is this just massive series. I've heard someone describe it as, or make this comparison, that this is like Cat Lord of the Rings, whereas Warriors is like Cat Game of Thrones. And I can definitely see that. Having read both this and a lot of Warriors, yeah. So it's not like this huge, massive saga. It's just one book. Something that stood out to me in this book as opposed to Warriors is that there's just a bit more fantastical elements to this book. Now, that's not to say Warriors doesn't. They definitely do have it, and they really get into it as the series goes on. They get to more magical, fantastical things. But this book, right off the bat, already has just a lot more of the fantastical. There's like magic, and there are monsters, and all these things. I think it's really cool, and it definitely is what helps this stand out. And also, and this I definitely noticed, is it's just a more advanced writing style. I compare it to The Hobbit in that it's this almost poetic, classical sound, but it's also written simply enough that anyone could read it. I think that's what The Hobbit was like, and I think that's what this is like. My big complaint and my issue when I try to reread The Sun Trail earlier is that it was just, you could tell it's a middle grade book. It's just written more simply and not as advanced. Whereas this book, I feel like this is very poetic. It's just a very good writing style, very good prose. I like it. And so yeah, that was great too. If you couldn't tell, I love this book. I really did. I read it mostly over the course of a trip, and I think it was great. It just it checked all the boxes for me, and was able to make me feel nostalgic while still just giving me something new that I've not read before. And I just love it. There's a lot of great world building here, and it's crazy because it is just the one book, but there's a lot there, you know, and I think it's just a really cool world that's built, so much so that this could have been a long series, but it wasn't. It's just the one book. And another thing is the pacing. I feel like, you know, I'm not like the pickiest when it comes to pacing, but I felt like this book had like perfect pacing. It's about 325 pages, and that's the perfect amount of pages Williams needed to tell the story he wanted to tell. It all fit, it all worked so well, and I love it for that. Without drawing this on too long, it was an amazing book. I had a great time, and I'm going to rate this book 5 stars. I loved it, you know. I have no real complaints. And it was a great time. And that's what a book needs to be. Of course, it can be thought-provoking and have all these cool ideas and just like wow you with its prose. But it needs to be just a good, enjoyable time. And this certainly was. And I definitely plan on checking out more books from Tad Williams. Again, I like the writing style, and I've heard great things about Austin Ard and even his other series. Like, it seems like he's just a great author, especially if you like fantasy, and so I'm excited to take on more of his books, whether that's later this year or next year. I'm not sure. I do have a lot of stuff planned for reading in the second half of this year, but regardless, I'm definitely excited to hop into more Tad Williams books. Well, there you have it. There's my review of Tailchaser's Song. Hopefully, as I continue to do more book reviews, I'll just kind of naturally get better at it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. See ya.